In international classrooms, Chinese students tend to be very quiet, and most of them choose to remain silent or lower their heads when faced with the teacher's question. In comparison, international students from other countries and domestic students appear to be much more engaged. So what are the reasons why Chinese students are always muted in class, and how can we help them speak again? Behind this phenomenon is not only language barrier, but also the mixture of multiple cultures, families, and self-identities. Firstly, the cultural differences. The Chinese education system is significantly different from Western education. Confucianism, which emphasizes harmony is inevitable and respecting elders and teachers, still influences Chinese education today, and it gives teachers a high authority and the students are used to accepting knowledge with few chances to question it in Chinese classrooms.
Currently, I have been a teacher for IELTS speaking for a few years. I currently guess there are two main reasons. First of all, what I would say is that most of students may be really introverted in such an international learning environment. Due to cultural differences and language barriers. Maybe most of them are afraid of sharing their inner feelings. Maybe they worry they will be laughed at by other international students, or maybe afraid of making some mistakes on spelling or grammars. The other aspect is the poor English language ability of most Chinese students. In China, we don't have the language speaking environment. Therefore, most of students must be really poor in speaking. So that is another kind of reason.
However, in the West, the classroom is more interactive with critical thinking, which encourages students to express their views freely. This cultural difference makes Chinese students often feel a lack of confidence, and how to get initiative in the classroom becomes a problem for them. Apart from cultural differences, the effect of family on Chinese students is also very obvious. In Chinese family culture, children's grades and performance are often invisibly linked to their parents' honor. Most of Chinese students have heard about the high expectations from their parents, which may be opposite to the idea that parents initially just want to give their children some experience on their own. Many parents teach their children from an early age to be careful and not to make mistakes. This thinking is deeply remembered, and many Chinese students believe that it is better to be silent than to make mistakes.
我觉着首先他是一个成年人，他有就是判断他的那个行为能力，他玩乐陶醉一些这个国外的风景，也不是说不可以，但是我个人觉着他还是要回归到他的主业。他的主业应该是他目前阶段的主要的任务。既然是出去了，还是要多学习一些专业上的东西希望他把主业这一块用的精力会更多一些。
Many parents do not realize that caring too much can lead to unnecessary anxiety and pressure about self-expression in their children. Except for these external reasons, internal reasons should not be ignored. Chinese students often have problems with their personal self-identity. After living in a familiar environment, Chinese students' identity will be challenged. Faced with unfamiliar cultures and new ways of expression, they often feel anxious and fall into confusions about identity and confidence.
And because I think I'm an introverted person, and I think my English is not very good. So sometimes I feel nervous, especially when the people around me, they don't talk. So I'm afraid to talk too. But I'm trying to overcome this because I think for language, the less you speak, the worse you get it.
The purpose of education is to awaken, not to shape. It is not easy for Chinese international students to be brave to speak in class. Perhaps we need to understand the silence of every international student and encourage them to be more courageous in expressing their ideas. Chinese students don't need to be bound by too many rules. The only thing they need to do is to express themselves freely and find their own confidence.